The Pete Carroll era here in Las Vegas begins with a W. The Raiders are 1-0. They go into New England and they get the win 20-13 over the Patriots. Welcome in to Raiders Gameday, the first of this season. I'm Amber Theoharis, along with James Jones, back with Eric Allen. Should I say Hall of Famer? Eric Allen, who had a heck of an offseason himself. So congrats to you. So what a great time for the Raiders.
Yeah.
Pete Carroll comes in. The first thing he said in his press conference is, we expect to win a lot of games. We're going to win a bunch of games. He said, that's what I do. And we talked about him winning right away. But to go into New England, a place, by the way, the Raiders have never won at Gillette Stadium. This is their first win at Gillette Stadium, and get a win over a team that looked like they were very prepared under Mike Vrabel. But it was all about explosive plays, adjustments, and Geno Smith looked great.
Wow,
so
what an amazing
starting off with the explosive plays, because I think that is the story. The Raiders have an offense.
Yeah.
They have the ability to change the tenor of a game quickly, starting with the receiver Dante Thornton very early on.
Absolutely.
Brock Bowers. What did you guys see as far as those?
You know what? You're right on the money as far as explosive plays. And who would have thought that this football team, without like a running game, to be able to have explosive plays throughout the whole ball game? I thought the initial kind of assault on the Patriots in the running game was going to be able to kind of dominate, but it wasn't that. Geno Smith, just unbelievable today in his first performance as a Raider. I mean, just a really incredible performance by this football team.
Well, you know, on Thursday, I kind of mentioned to Amber, and I said, you know what?
He did.
First play should be a bomb. There's a lot of explosive plays out here. And I said, it should be to Thornton early and often. You know what I mean? But just imagine, our run game we don't even know what Genty going to be yet.
Right.
And we are getting explosive plays. Just think when he gets started.
Yeah.
And then the play action pass. I thought Geno Smith played his tail off today. You got a lot of explosive pass catchers. Jacoby could play, Brock could play, Thornton could play. It is going to be tough trying to stop this offense with Geno Smith. And you've seen it today, a lot of chunk plays. And our run game ain't even getting started yet.
I'm excited.
As a Raider.
And the very first Raiders touchdown of the season is a 26-yard bomb to Trey Tucker where they just air it out.
Oh, I forgot about Trey. I forgot Trey running too.
I mean, and what you mentioned, Ashton Genty, they didn't get the running game going. So I think that Mike Vrabel always is going to come in like Bill Belichick, right, and say, we're going to eliminate one thing. And it was clear they were going to not allow the Raiders to run the ball because the logic is that Geno Smith is going to want that play-action pass.
Right.
So if we take that away, then they can't get Brock back. What's interesting is Genty only had 56 yards, but yet the play-action pass was working, JJ.
The play-action pass was working, and Geno Smith is extremely accurate.
Yeah.
You've seen some of them throws today. They were on the money. Obviously, the wide receivers and tight ends are going to win, but Geno Smith, when he is in the play-action pass game, and in the day, you seen him standing in the pocket a lot. The pocket was clean, and he was delivering the ball. It's going to be a tough cover for a lot of people playing this Raiders offense.
No doubt about it. There was 10 explosive plays for 185 yards, and that was the difference in the game for the Raiders. Another difference was if you look at the preparedness of Pete Carroll and Chip Kelly and the offense coming out the first plays, the first drives of each half, right? The very first drive looked phenomenal for the game. Second quarter was awful. Then they come out in the third quarter and look organized again. But not just that, the defense. There was defensive adjustments in the second half after it was a slow start for the defense in the first half. What did you see in the second half?
Well, again, when you're looking at the coaching staff, you say to yourself, you know, kind of what defensively are we going to go? Are we going to go more Pete Carroll, or are we going to continue to have like this Patrick Graham? And I thought that early in the ball game, we were more Pete Carroll kind of zone stuff. I thought May did a really good job of kind of chewing up the middle of the football field. And then the second half, it just seems like we're more Patrick Graham. We're going to a lot of one high, man-to-man type stuff, kind of really forcing this football team to have to kind of go against the guys on the outside a little bit more. I thought that was really the key adjustments after halftime, just doing a little bit more of what Patrick Graham liked to do last year, kind of some man-to-man stuff, some single high safety. I thought it worked really well.
And that's credit to the coaches, too.
Yeah.
Because when you do your first 15 plays, that means we outcoached you on our first 15. Then we go into halftime, we out-adjusted you, and we came out in the third quarter and really went to work. So that's good. That's kudos to the coaches.
All right, let's bring in a man that can talk about those Patrick Graham adjustments in the second half. Isaiah Pola-Mao, congratulations on a heck of a start to the season. You get the pick there. That kind of changed. I said if the Raiders go on to win this, we're going to look back at this pick as something that really changed the whole flow of the game. Take me through that play.
Yeah, I mean, it's always a good thing when pass rush and coverage work hand in hand. But, I think it was Maxx that got the pressure and the ball just floated. And, Coach jokes about it all the time, but all we got to do is just catch it. And that's what I did and came down with it.
Hey, you want to know what's crazy? Is you stood next to me for one 7-on-7 tournament, and now you got hands and you know how to catch. Ain't that stuff crazy? No, that was a big-time play. No, just talk to us a little bit about the defense, man. That's a big-time game by you guys, man. Giving up 10 points, man. What was the mindset coming into the game?
I mean, we was talking about it. It's all about us. It's hard to study a team for the first game, but we understood what they were going to try to do a little bit, and they were going to try to run the ball. And, that was our big focus. And as long as we stopped the run, we could have some fun, So that was our big emphasis, is just really working on ourselves and worrying about us, because at the end of the day, that's all that matters.
Isaiah, you're one of the guys who could really talk to us and Raider Nation about the difference between this football club right here and the last previous teams you're on. What was the main kind of theme that you guys were talking about going into the season?
Like I said, it was about us, and then we talked big about, competing. And, everybody competes. Everybody plays hard.
Hey, Max.
Shout out, Max. But it's about us at the end of the day, and it's all about the ball. So, we're big on being +1. Today, I'm pretty sure we're even, but, we just worried about us and did right longer.
And look, the first half wasn't exactly what you guys wanted, but it was so clear the adjustments were made in the second half. What was the focus of Patrick Graham when he was talking to you guys in the locker room at the half?
Yeah, it's all about finishing. We can't win the game in the first, second, or third quarter. So we were just focused on doing our jobs, doing right longer, like I said. And, at the end of the day, I'm going to keep saying it. It's all about us, and that's really what it comes down to. As long as we execute and do our jobs and communicate, we'll be all right.
There's a lot of people high on the young fella, Drake May. What was your first impressions of him, getting the opportunity to compete against him? What do you think kind of, is the ceiling for that young fella?
He's going to have a high ceiling, and he's going to be a great player for sure. I think our pass rush got after a little bit, and, that's hard when you get sacked and get hit and pushed around a little bit. So credit to him, credit to their team. They're a great team. And, we just got to keep pushing forward.
All right, I think we're going to wrap it up because your coach is talking, so we're going to go out and hear from Pete Carroll about this first win. But congratulations, Isaiah. We have the feeling this is going to be a big year for you, just continuing what you started last year, and we're looking forward to many more big plays from you out there in the secondary. Congratulations. Have a safe trip back.
Good job, big dog.
Way to go, my man.
Very much. Big year for us.
All right, looking forward to it. All right, now let's go back out to the press conference right now. Pete Carroll is at the podium talking about his first win.
Didn't used to look like this. Really important first day for us to get off and come from behind and win the game in the second half and believe the whole way through that we were going to find a way. Defense did a tremendous job in the second half to hold them down, getting off the field in the third downs and all of that, just playing tough as heck and really excited for our guys. We've worked really hard to get to this point and to get in that locker room and have that kind of fun and cheer on one another and all of that. It's East Coast, I don't know, East Coast, we don't mind coming out here, so maybe we can keep that going.
You've seen Geno Smith do this plenty of times before, but today felt like a statement game from him in terms of what he can do and the stabilizing force talking about.
Yeah, for him to complete over 70% of his passes again, he's been doing this now. Geno had a regular game today. I don't think it was a big statement game or anything like that. I just think it was what he does, and we'll do better than that. He's got him to do better than that. We got rushed a little bit today a couple times, and that really kind of changed his opportunities to have even a bigger day. But the fact that we had so many big plays, somebody said that we had 9 plays over 20, like it's tied a record or something. I can't believe that now. I can't believe with all the guys we've had in the years here, the Raiders, that we didn't have more than that. But it was still a big day for us, and he did a great job.
Toward the end of the first half, the offense had kind of hit a low there. Had a few punts after interception, but it seemed like coming out of the third quarter, Geno in particular, still maintained that level of confidence. What goes into that for a player, being able to, have some moments and then shake it off and get back to it?
He's a star player in the NFL. He's been doing this for a long time. That was a normal response by him to just not worry about it. We took a couple sacks on pressures that we didn't need to take. I wish we would have got rid of the football instead of getting hit. But other than that, and there was a couple penalties in there, I think it felt like that made a difference, and we were in 2nd and 20s or something like that, at 1st and 20, really hard to play from there. But other than that, shoot, I thought we were fine. I wish we'd have run the ball better. They did a nice job up front against us. We didn't get much going, but we stayed with it enough to give us the play passes that we needed to throw the football around. So Jacoby had a terrific game, running after the catch and and getting pounded and then making more yards. I thought that was special. Trey's touchdown was perfect with the protection. They picked it up versus the pressure, and we hit a touchdown pass. So a lot of good things happened across the board, and we're really happy about it.
You guys lost Landon, but it seemed like the linebackers, the communication stayed true, and they stayed with it even with the loss.
Yeah, he sprained his elbow, and we'll see what that all means. He's tough as nails, and if he can come back, he will. But those guys have been rolling a lot. John Glenn has been moving those guys through so that we have fresh callers and guys that can communicate really well. So that wasn't that far off for us to deal with that properly. Tommy got a little playing time in there, which was great. But I thought the whole group played really well.
What's your level of concern with Brock Bowers' knee injury?
They're looking at his knee, and he wanted to go back in, and they wouldn't let him go back in. They thought, let's watch the game and see how it goes. We didn't have to do that. So, but he's an incredible player. So yeah, we need to have him.
How did you guys?
Can't even get a question in. Oh, jeez, man.
How did you guys game plan for Drake May, and how do you think you guys stuck to that game plan?
Well, this first game, you really don't know what you're getting. And we saw them in preseason, and they saw us in preseason. We didn't motion one snap in preseason this year, so we were moving a lot today, if you noticed. And so they likewise, they did things that they hadn't done. We, in this first game and even the second game and the third game, these are all games they're a little bit loose on, what you're planning for, because teams can change and they haven't really showed their hands. Some of the clubs that have been together for a long time, it's a little bit different. But the new teams, brand new team, we didn't know what they were going to do. And Josh had a lot of good calls in there and a lot of good stuff that he did against us.
That the run game wasn't quite there, but you guys did have success with the play action passing game. How do you think you guys were able to do that even without the run game really being there?
No, well, they still got on to the run. They were getting fired up and hyped up about stopping it, and so I thought Chip called a great game to take advantage of that. And their aggressive style at the line of scrimmage allowed us to get a few plays at them, and that's just kind of how we play. And so hopefully we keep that going. But we'll need the running game a lot more formidable than that.
You preached compete since you got here, and today, towards the end of that second and the end of the first half, when the team got behind, you could tell they were frustrated, but they never quit competing.
Yeah, no.
Is that why you do it from day one? You install it, you just can't do it and turn it on game day?
Yeah. That is the essence of why this is the central theme in the program, is so that you never call it at any one point. You just keep competing and you just keep battling, play after play after play. We don't pass judgment. We just keep rolling. And these guys were talking like that at halftime. They were talking like it on the sidelines, and they kept talking about just keep doing the right thing, keep doing the right, and we'll work our way out of it. That is the conversation that we're trying to develop on a regular basis. So there ain't nothing that we can't handle. And so it was a good illustration of that. Thanks for pointing that out.
One of those 20-yard plays was on a 3rd and 20, late in that fourth quarter. The third of Dante Corey.
Yeah.
Can you talk about how big that play was?
That was a huge play. Yeah, that really swung the game where we really were in command of the game from that point on. So that was a huge job by the guys up front, because Geno had some extra time there, and he got a chance to throw it down there in a really nice, unusual play that Dante makes the catch on. So it was a very significant play in that game, and fortunately it worked out. We still could have won the game without that one, but that play really kind of put us on top of the game for us.
Not bad for a number 2 tight end, I guess.
And number 2 tight end. We got ones. Those guys can all play and do stuff. Mike made some big catches today and hung on to the ball great. Unfortunately, we had one friggin' ball tipped today, and they get a pick on it. But we played with the ball in our hands really securely all day long, which is what we've been doing everything in our power to own once we get to these games. I was really proud of that today.
Part of your young corners, I mean, stepped up today?
I thought they did fine. You know, we had two PIs called on us. I think you could go to both of them, and you could see the offensive guy ran into Eric, I think it was, and knocked him back. You know, and the guy, the side judge, he couldn't see it really. But I thought that was one that didn't have to get called. And I thought Kai Blue did a nice job on fighting to the hands without making something that impeded that receiver. So I challenged both of them. You know, and I thought those guys played really well.
You guys good?
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
All right, so Pete Carroll, I think it was clear in that very first drive, was very prepared.
Yep.
It's one thing to have the first 15 plays scripted, right? It's another thing to have your players prepared to go out and execute them, and that's been the disconnect, I think, over the years. What do you think it is about Pete Carroll, just quickly, that allows that to happen?
It's really just the attention to detail. Attention to detail. You see, there ain't a lot of missed assignments. Them dudes is focused and locked in. That's big time, because I've been a part of a lot of 1st and 15 that ain't working. So to come out and work, that's kudos to them for having them boys prepared.
Yeah, and you know a good coach when you see him.
Yeah, my thing is Chip Kelly. I mean, just the experience of both Pete and Chip being in certain situations and kind of understanding what needs to be done. Obviously, the running game wasn't as great. I thought the first series, we had some really good runs from Ashton, and then we're able to kind of build from there. But to get everyone involved, I think that's the one thing that's very difficult for a coach to do is you have all these pieces, but can you get them involved when the game is kind of, in that battle? Yeah. Right? Can you get the tight end involved, the receiver who hasn't dropped the ball last year, and the running back? They were able to do that and do it successfully in the course of, a competitive game.
That's really good.
All right, we're going to step aside here on Raiders Game Day. When we come back, we'll break down not only how they got all the offensive players involved, we're going to hear from Maxx Crosby on this defense. There he is. He didn't know what happened. He just got after Drake May somehow. He's next.
It is floating.
Raiders Game Day is brought to you by America First Credit Union, the official credit union of the Las Vegas Raiders. Allegiant, the official airline of the Raiders. Low fares, nonstop flights, only at Allegiant.com. Modelo, a reward for those with a fighting spirit. Modelo, the mark of a fighter. Drink responsibly, imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois. And by Cox, proud partner of the Las Vegas Raiders. Welcome back. The Raiders get their first win of the season here in Week 1. They're now 1-0 as they beat the Patriots 20-13. And, of course, the effort by Maxx Crosby is notable and this defense. So let's bring him in live from Gillette Stadium. And, Max, congratulations. I know to get off to a 1-0 start is exactly the goal. How does this set the tone for the season?
It was awesome, man. Honestly, just watching the guys fly around and the enthusiasm is all you can ask for. So it comes down to execution and energy and effort, and that's what we had to do today, and we did that. So there's some things we can get better at. There's things we can clean up, but I think we're off to a good start. So big shout out to all my teammates.
Big dog, JJ here, man. How I feel, man? You come into an off season, you got a new coach, you hear his message, you see him on the field running around, but to see it be displayed today, man. How I feel, man, getting the first dub, man, knowing that you under Pete Carroll now.
Yeah, it was amazing, man. Just coming out here, there's a lot of history between both teams, and starting the year strong. Getting a win to start this year was super important to us. So proud of all the guys. Super happy, to be a part of this team and part of this journey. So we got to just continue building week by week and day by day, and that's all we can do.
Yeah, Max, we don't take you for granted, man. Just the effort is always there. Talk to us a little bit about your room, the defensive line room, how excited you are about those guys and what they're able to do today.
Yeah, it's just awesome to see. Like, we know what we have and we know what we're built off of, and that's just hard work, man. Everybody shows up every day with positive energy and looking to get better and compete, and that's what we do. And so, we hear a lot of noise and things like that, but we just stay tunnel vision. You know what I mean? Stay locked in on what's important, and that's just focus on us and getting better every day. So, yeah, I'm so happy to be a part of, this D-line. These guys are getting better every single day, and we have a lot of guys trying to prove themselves, and you saw it across the board. So it was really good to see.
Max, we saw that pass rush really come alive in the second half with the 3 sacks, but most notably the pressure that you applied that led to the turnover. Kind of take me through the play on your end. Isaiah was just talking about it, but how gratifying is that when both the front and the back work together?
that's what it's all about. You know what I mean? It's playing complementary football. You know, the rush is going to help the back end, and the back end helps the rush. So it's our job to get home and win and disrupt up front, and it just, you know, makes everybody's life easier on the back end. So, yeah, glad I got a piece of Drake May on that one, and I really didn't know what happened. I just know I beat the guard and hit the quarterback, and all of a sudden I seen him pop fly, and Zay got under the ball, and I was like, yeah, I got his ass. So that's always the best feeling.
You don't need to know what
Always the
happened,
best
just as long as you get him. You don't need to know what happened.
Hey, no.
All right, Max.
100%.
Max, thanks so much for joining us. Safe
right,
travels
man.
back from Gillette, and congratulations. We'll see you back here at the facility.
Good job, bro.
Boom. Appreciate it.
I don't think I saw any new tattoos. I was checking it out. I think the one arm hasn't advanced yet. It
But
probably
James
will
is-
in the future.
James has a theory to that.
He has a theory.
You
He knows
know,
what he's
and I mean, something special happened today, so he might get that tatted.
Maybe
First
he'll
time
get it
ever
done.
winning in New England.
I don't know what he's going to, first win ever. He's going to put the date. I don't
Every week
know.
there's going to be a new one, depending on what happens in
He's
the
got
game.
some options. He could put some stats. He could put the run defense held the Patriots to 60 yards.
There you go.
He could put red zone defense. They were 1 for 3, held them for 1 for 3.
Nice.
In the
I
red
see
zone, they had the pick. We saw the 2 quarterback hits,
Oh,
the 3
man.
sacks, and most importantly, the adjustments. In the second quarter, the Raiders only had the ball for 3 minutes. They could not get the Patriots off of the field, and they come out in the third quarter and started off with a turnover, and that was the difference in the whole tone of the game.
It was.
And they
It
come
was.
out with the win. All right, we're going to take a break here on Raiders Game Day. When we come back, we're going to hear from the man himself, Geno Smith, his very
There you
first
go.
win in the silver and black. He's going to be at the podium next. There he is. He looked good. 70% of his passes.
Man.
It's par for the course. Intermountain Health understands that life can be a challenging game, and mental wellness is vital to our overall health. It takes courage to admit when we're not okay, and even more to reach out. If you or someone you know is struggling or in crisis, call or text 988 or visit strongestplay.com for mental wellness resources. Welcome back. There is no doubt that the big reason for this win was the addition of Geno Smith in the offseason. It seems that the quarterback position is secure. The Raiders get the win 20-13 over the Patriots. And Geno Smith talks about his performance at the press conference right now.
We're doing good afternoon.
Congratulations on your first win as a Raider, Geno. But you know Pete's system. You know his compete. But in the end of the first half, when they were ahead and things were not going well, your teammates, there was nobody hanging their heads. You could see it. They're just hanging in there. How proud are you of your teammates that they bought in to Pete's compete?
Yeah, I'm extremely proud of the guys. First of all, it's always a blessing to get a win in the NFL. And yeah, I mean, the Patriots, they have a good team. This is the NFL. There's going to be ups and downs, ebbs and flows throughout the game. But I think the message that Coach sends us is that, you got to stay even keel. And you got to, never pass judgment, right? You got a 4-quarter game you got to go play. And so I thought we did a really good job at, coming back in the second half, into the locker room, regrouping, and then executing in the second half.
You've been involved with him in these East Coast games, and his record's ridiculously good. Why do you think that is?
Yeah, I think Coach has really a great way of going about it. The 2-day trips, just all the things that we do. It really works, and you can see it. And obviously, the guys have got to go out there and execute, and it's got to be right. But Coach has a style about him. He has a way about him. He understands exactly what he wants, and the message is clear. And so when we get out here, we know what we're doing. Business trip, we take 2-day trips, study, and then get out on the field and get it done.
It's 3rd and 20, late in the fourth quarter, and you find Dante on that long first down throw. What's going through your mind on that play? Was that the play that was called, or it was something that you guys saw?
Yeah, we obviously in those situations, man, game on the line. I love the ball in my hands. That's what I live for, man. That's what I play this game for. And we were running a lot of plays, a lot of in cuts, and I felt like we could have taken advantage of some things earlier, but I feel like that was the perfect timing for it. And so Dante made a great play, ran a great route. The protection held up. They went cover 0. So we got a chance to take a shot on an aggressive corner, and it worked out for us. And those are the things we can count on from Dante and from our O-line.
Personally, just speaking about yourself as an individual, when you have something that doesn't go well, like the interception earlier in the game, what goes into maintaining that confidence and sort of moving on to the next play?
I think I say it all the time on me. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I think about. I don't think about nothing else. I'm me. I know who I am. I know what I can do. Mistakes happen. Things happen within the game. It was a tip pass. I made the right read. Could have made a better throw. But, those guys made a play on it, and the ball tipped up. Guy made a play. Not going to hang my head and keep going. I'm me, and Coach tells a story about Rick Barry, and one day I'll get to that with you guys. But I just know who I am. I know what I can do on that field, so I never worry.
They was really aggressive and sending pressure, blitzing often, but you had a few moments out there where they were getting after you, you still were able to make the plays. I think about the 4-for-1 pass where you were on the move and hit Michael Mayer. What goes into sort of being aware of your surroundings in those moments and kind of pivoting into the...
Yeah, just anticipating the aggressiveness, knowing the situations, and most coordinators are going to be aggressive in those situations. They got to get the ball back, got to find a way to get a stop. So typically they're going to be aggressive. They have to. So when you're out there, you're playing, you got to make a play. Those are when I think the best players show up. Is when you got to make a play. Everyone knows the situation. There's no secrets, and you just got to go out there and make it happen.
You've been around Brock Bowers now, I think since March or so, whenever you got here. It looks like you guys were playing for 5 years out there today, but what kind of an asset is Brock Bowers?
Man, Brock's a tremendous asset. He gives us the advantage, in personnel because he's such a tremendous player all around. And so, D coordinators, they've got to figure out how they want to guard him, and we've got to adjust to it. And, Brock's a great player, but I think all our guys showed up. I thought Jacoby had a great game today. I thought Trey had a great game. You see the big plays that Dante made. Tough running by Ashton. It's hard to, do that in a 4-minute situation when the whole stadium knows we're running the ball. But our O-line played well. I thought they gave me a ton of time back there to get through my reads. And so, Chip called a great game. I think it's a collection of all of us having to do those things. But, having Brock obviously makes my job a lot easier.
Early in the game, you had already targeted 6 of your teammates, and obviously it was even more than that by the end of the game. In Chip's system, how much does it help that if you're on the roster, you're part of the offensive game plan, so they have to watch everybody?
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's how we want to play football. We want to make sure that we make the right reads. I want to make sure that I'm making the right decisions and getting the ball into the hands of the playmakers. We got a lot of great players, and that's something that, we can take advantage of. And so, I'm going to spread the ball around if need be, but, I'm going to find the open guy first and foremost.
You guys all good? Cool.
Thank you, guys.
It's kind of nice to have a starter, isn't it? A leader, a veteran. Hey. It feels good. It feels like he's a grown-up. There's somebody in charge. He knows what he's doing. And you liked, as a receiver, some accountability and protecting some of his guys there.
Absolutely.
Just kind of being a leader and looking out for them. If you listen to what he said.
If you really listen to what he said, O-line, 4 sacks given up, couple holding penalties, and all that. But to get up there and say, my O-line played well, I love it. That's what you need. Shout it out to all his pass catchers, run the game. That's a quarterback, and he played his tail off.
He did. I mean, and that's what we wanted as a franchise, is to have the kind of quarterback who can do everything well. And then there's some times where, it's like, wow, that ball, that placement of that ball right there, that was incredible. His ability to be able to stand in the pocket and not have to kind of move the pocket for him and those things. He was going to be able to kind of understand the situation and survive when the offensive line wasn't at its best today. Yeah. And some of his throws, man, just early on, just really credit to him and his consistency and, just kind of being a pro out there. And that's something that we're going to benefit from.
Look, and if he, threw for 362 yards and a touchdown, had a 102 passer rating, when the offensive line clearly, I'm glad you pointed that out. JPJ had a little bit of a rough day. There was 5 of the 9 penalties were on the offensive line. You said he got hit 4 times. If he can play that well, under those circumstances, with virtually no run game today, under 60 yards rushing, imagine what can happen. And Jacoby Myers had a 97-yard game. Brock Bowers, 103-yard game. Yeah. Right? So you have 2 100-yard receivers pretty much. I'll tell you, I think there's 2 underrated people in this league, and one is Geno Smith and one is Jacoby Myers. Not enough people talk about either of them.
They're about to find out. They're about to find out about Jacoby. Jacoby's a good player. Anything and everything you want at the receiver position, the release off the line of scrimmage, the route running, the total package to catch the ball, that's Jacoby. But kudos to Geno, too, because it's hard for a quarterback to say, we got all these weapons, and I could get them involved.
Yes.
Usually a quarterback is like, okay, we got all these weapons, I'm going to find my guy, number 89, Brock Bowers. We were coming up here a lot last year like, like, dang, he had 10 targets, he only had 2. Like, to look at that and be like, man, all these dudes had an impact on the game and had a chance to make some plays in the game. That's credit to Geno.
It is, and it's all about puzzle pieces. You can have a ton of pieces, but if you're not working in the correct way, you can wind up in situations where one guy just focused on the whole game. I just love the fact that even after Brock went down, I thought Michael Myers played a terrific game. He came in and had an impact in this game, and it's not a situation where you're just forcing it to a single person all the time.
Yeah.
You know what? You drop back, whoever's open, whoever has that route that's supposed to be there. If it's covered, I'm going to drop it down. Everything seems just so intact right now with Geno at the
It's only week 1.
It's only week 1. They got some good
Sundays.
weapons. Yeah, all right. Well, you know what? It's been 35 weeks since a victory speech. Guess what happened today? Another one. We're going to take you into the Raiders locker room.
35
Next.
weeks.
35 weeks since we heard that. Now it's Pete Carroll today. What's he have to say?
Hey, a beautiful job today working together. I hope you can feel what it feels like now. This is why we work so freaking hard. It comes, we don't know what's going to happen, but if we keep staying with it and keep believing in it, it's going to happen, and it happened again. This ain't the only time we're going to get one of these.
That's just one win. We're here for more than one win. But I got to get a game ball. First win in the silver and black.
What time is it? Game time. Whose house is it? Our house. Whose house is it? Our house. Hey, get off the
He hit him with that Ray Lewis.
If there was anybody I thought would be leading the victory speech chant, it would not be Dylan Loudby, but Dylan got in there.
Hey, we're going to do that chant.
I love
my goodness.
You're going to lead it.
Any dogs in the house?
All right, well, Raider Nation always is interacting on X and on all the social media platforms. And here's some voices of the nation. Check out what some of the big fans are saying. We know Guy Fieri. Guy Fieri. He said we made it. Football is back. He's a huge Raiders fan. We'll see him out there at Allegiant, I'm sure. And our homeboy, Paul Gutierrez over at Raiders.com. Brock Bowers is good at football. That's it. That's the tweet
right there.
We agree with you, Paul. And how about JT the Brick?
JT.
What did JT the Brick say? He said, Thornton. Wow, amazing moment. That was actually for the game ceiling catch at the end. That wasn't even the very first catch. Yeah, JT. So look, there's a lot of reasons to be excited, and we have to absolutely agree. Brock Bowers is good at football. By the way, we did see him leave the game. He wasn't in the fourth quarter. He just had a little bit of a banged up knee. We're told it's going to be fine, so don't worry. Monday night against the Chargers. That's going to be a big matchup, big divisional matchup right after they beat the Chiefs. He should be back out there. So Raider Nation has to be happy right now. Right?
Excited.
This feels different.
Yes.
It feels different right now.
Coming off the preseason, and the first preseason game was kind of whatever. The second one's much better, but the fan base is waiting for a moment where they have a quarterback they can really lean on. Of course, we have Maxx and defense, but all these players we've been able to collect over the last year or so, they've shown up today, and it's not false. It's something to where you think about what Raider Nation wants. They want the deep ball. We had that, right? Yeah. They want the ability for the defense to be able to make some plays. We had that today. And just the amount of excitement on the sideline has been consistent. I think that's the one thing that Raider Nation really loves.
And they should be really excited because to win games in this league, you need a quarterback. We didn't have Maxx Crosby around here for years. It's hard to win. We didn't have the Devontae Adams. You need a quarterback to win games. With Geno Smith, you're going to have an opportunity to win every game and be in every game the way he's playing the game of football. He's consistent. Boy threw for 300. Everybody involved. And this is the first game. He's still filling these dudes out. He's still trying to figure out what routes they like and all that. The offensive coordinator trying to figure him out in certain situations. To come out and start like this, Should be a lot of smiles
And
on people's
I'm
faces
smiling
today.
about what JT was talking about, Dante Thornton.
Yes.
I think that's going to be an X factor for sure.
Yeah.
6'5", 4'3", 40. As JJ said, 4'3", 40. It's going to be a weapon, no doubt. All right, we're going to take a break here on Raiders Game Day. When we come back, more on the Raiders win over the Patriots 20-13. JJ, EA, they're going to break it all down on you. Little film study next.
It's game day, the day we've been waiting for. And this is more than just a game, it's a passion, a lifestyle. Here at the Raider Image, you're part of our team. Whether you're in the stands or cheering from home, we've got your back. Feel the confidence, own the game. We are the Raider Image. Your game, your gear, exclusively at the Raider Image.
Welcome back. One thing we saw in the Raiders' 12-13 victory over the Patriots was the ability to make big-time plays, explosive plays. There was 10 for 185 yards by this offense, and also the complement on the defensive side was the pass rush really heating up in the second half. For more on breaking all this down, let's turn it over to JJ and EA. What's up, guys?
All right.
Let me start it off, because EA, I mean, it's Raiders, but he don't like explosive games because he played DB. As a wideout, this is what I'm talking about right here. We throwing the ball down the football field, EA. Explosive games. Number 7, we all know what he did, tree hunting.
Yeah.
All right, look at that. All right, tree hunting. You see my man in the slot. Hey, now listen, whenever you get your fastest dude on the football field in the slot, you automatically know antennas is up. And Trey Tucker on the B-line, down the middle of the field. You want to play cover 3 safety, you better get your back pedal because we're coming right at you. That's a beautiful ball by Geno. You see his fadeaway, right?
Ran right by him.
Yeah, you a safety. Who you trying to stay in front of? It's not going to happen. But you see Geno with the fadeaway, he knew it was a three-pointer. He knew that it was going in. But Trey Tucker in the slot, just to change up of the offense, you get some speed in the slot to run down the middle of the field. That's going to be huge. And then again, man, obviously, you know, number 89, when you play for the Raiders and you wear number 89, you're usually pretty good. But this one might be the best one. Brock Bowers is uncoverable.
Yeah.
You can't put a backer on him. You can't put a corner on him. You better put
that
some
release.
You better put some safety help over the top. And then you look at the play design. You come out, it's a little bluff, like I'm a block, we're gonna throw the screen. Nope, we're going down the sideline. Geno makes a beautiful ball down the sideline. And then the rook. 6'5",
love it.
4-3.
For what?
Ball in the air. 4-3.
Okay.
Ball in the air, and let's go get it. But this right here, Raiders fans should be smiling because for your veteran quarterback to take a shot to your rookie when a game is on the line and to go get this ball, you see him on a quick sluggo. This is going to be a good.
Oh man,
this is going to be a good thing for the Raiders right here.
For
good
a young
chemistry
guy
and all that.
I'm giving that little.
That means it's showtime. And then they could go get the quarterback.
Oh, yeah. And that's what it's about here. And it's all about pressuring the quarterback, particularly after they've had some success. Now, Maxx, and that's what you want.
That's it.
You want Maxx's ability to rush the quarterback, to get turnovers in the end. That's important. Sacks are great.
Absolutely.
Turnovers, more important. They change the dynamics of the game.
Yes, sir.
Just great job of looping, doing some stunts, some games up front. Of course, Maxx can rush from the outside, but you love the fact that Patrick Graham has given this defense opportunities up front to change it up, get some stunts, some loops. That's what we need, though. In the back end, it's interceptions after interceptions. And then Isaiah just making man, that's what we need right there, right? Open field tackle, letting them know that's all about anticipation. You understand what the defense is. You know what's happening here. Come put that football face on the ball. Man, outstanding play. This young rookie, last year, Maxx told us, look out for this guy. And he's here. He's arrived right now. So the pressure results in an interception, and then our guy, 20, puts it on the money with the outstanding tackle.
And that is complimentary football. To be honest with you, this might be the best Maxx Crosby we get in his career because he's going to be playing with some leads. And now you can pin your ears back and go get the quarterback.
Yeah, for sure. That's what we need right there.
Well, Amber, we got explosives and we know how to tackle. Back to you.
That's a great place to start. You know where else is a good place to start? Look at our one big number. When your quarterback has 362 passing yards in week 1. That is the most passing yards by a quarterback, making his Raider debut ever. 362. 2. We'll take that. When was the last time the Raiders had 389 yards of total offense? I mean, we'll take that, right? And that's only with 60 not even 60 rushing yards. So you have to imagine these numbers are even going to go up. This is a great jumping off point from the offense. And I think we saw the versatility of this offense because we've talked so much about Jacoby and Brock, but they used everybody.
Yeah.
They found. We saw Jack Besh get a catch. Mike Mayer came in. We talked about him as well.
Yeah.
Do you think that having both tight ends, usually when you have two tight ends, you think, okay, one's going to be more of a blocker, one's more of the pass catcher. They both can catch passes.
Yeah.
And they both can be threats in the red zone, which we didn't get a lot of opportunities in the red zone today. But Ashton Genty had a red zone touchdown. So I think the ceiling is high for this offense. I mean, it's been a while since we've said that about a Raiders team where I think this is going to be an offensive team, possibly.
The great thing about today, just one thing, this is a normal game for Geno. I think we have seen this, this franchise kind of struggle at the quarterback position for a long time. And, we were in the room watching the game like, oh, man, it's a normal game for him.
Yep.
And that's something to really look forward to.
And not only that, it's game 1.
Yeah.
And in the National Football League, defenses start off faster than offenses.
That's right.
Offenses usually start off slow. So to see this game 1, I'm not saying the next game you're going to have 500 yards passing, but to see this kind of chemistry, to see Geno play this well and get everybody involved, and the way the offensive coordinator called the game, I'm telling you, you see how he's smiling? That's how Raider fans should.
I'm just saying, I'm digging
on the road, raining,
that's how
terrible weather conditions.
Yeah, they did all right. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, I'll look ahead. What is next for the Raiders? A little Monday Night Football action in the division. Great time at Allegiant. This segment of Raiders Game Day has been brought to you by Coca-Cola Zero Sugar, the official soft drink of the Las Vegas Raiders. Raiders Game Day has been brought to you by Allegiant, the official airline of the Raiders. Low fares, nonstop flights, only at Allegiant.com. Credit One Bank, the official credit card of the Las Vegas Raiders. Coors Light, choose chill, an official beer of Raider Nation. Celebrate responsibly. 2025 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. And by Twitch, watch, discover, join in. 1 down, 16 more to go. Let's take a look at what is ahead. So the Raiders get the win in week 1 against the Patriots. Next up, it is the Chargers. Monday Night Football as the Raiders come home. They open against the Chargers at Allegiant. Can't wait for Raider Nation.
It's going to be packed.
Cannot wait.
Raider Nation.
And then look, it's a team that went to the NFC Championship. They got to go all the way to D.C., Landover, Maryland, to play.
That's your hometown.
That's my hometown.
That's your hometown.
To play the Commanders, who won today. And then they come back home to face the Bears at Allegiant. We kind of don't know what the Bears are yet.
That's some get back from a couple years ago when we played them.
Oh, man, I remember Tyson Bagent came in.
You got to call that name out. Oh, yeah. Well, it's some get back for them.
All right, it's New Year.
Some get back.
All right, well, there's a lot to build on. An exciting day for the Raiders. They are 1-0. 380-some yards of total offense. The defense had 3 sacks and a turnover. Pete Carroll gets the game ball for his first win in the Silver and Black, and there's much more to come.
It's Charger Week.
Charger Week.
Brother.
Monday Night Football for Eric Allen, James Jones. I'm Amber Theoharis. Go Raiders.